Hey guys, OGL Binding here, bringing you guys my APA Little Cup Wi-Fi Week 7 match against AA Ron 2420 and his Calgary Infernapes. Looking to hopefully keep our streak alive. Up to this point, we are 6-0. And if we can, potentially just keep that streak going, secure us a pretty high seed in playoffs, that would obviously be great. This is a 10-week season for the APA Little Cup, so, going 7-0 pretty much absolutely guarantees us a pretty nice spot in playoffs. So we definitely will be pushing pretty hard for this W right here. But with that being said, let's just jump right into the video right here. I'm not going to do a big team builder, but I am just going to go over the teams really quick. Our roster, if you did forget, consists of the Abra, Scraggy, Honedge, Seal, Swineup, Bonsly, Magby, Lebebe, Teddy Ursa, and P-Dove. While my opponent's roster consists of the Spritzy, Dwebble, Chimchar, Shinx, Golett, Bidoof, Snover, Gothita, Petalil, and Sprout. So, right off the bat, very, very good team, very, very threatening on paper. I do think we match up pretty well, though. The biggest threats to me, though, would definitely be both the Dwebble. Shell Smash Dwebble is terrifying. My team does not deal well with the Shell Smashers of the meta, and Chimchar is actually really scary. Like an offensive Chimchar, I don't switch in very well to at all either. So that's stuff I do have to kind of keep into account. His other really big threats, like Spritzy, I think we have one of the best checks in the tier to it in Honedge. And then Gothita, we have a whole Scraggy that kind of just sits in front of that thing. And Scraggy's a big, big problem for his team. So I honestly don't really expect the Gothita to even come to this game, because it kind of just opens up a hole for me. But our team, just really quick, consists of a Focus Sash Modest Abra with Psychic, Calm Mind, Shadow Ball, and Taunt. A Eviolite, Swords Dance, 3 attacks. Honedge just need Dual Stab this week. Honestly, it kind of just rips through his team. This is probably one of my main win cons. A Belly Drum, Berry Juice, Magby. This is kind of just 6 mon I kind of threw on the team, thinking like, hey, if I can potentially find a situation which I can set up, then this thing does really, really well. But other than that, like, hey, well, it's just kind of a more expendable member, honestly, this week. And then we have our main win con in Dragon Dance, Steelium Z, Scraggy, Knockoff, Drain Punch, Iron Head, Dragon Dance. At +1, Steelium Z should pretty much OHKO any Spritzy set, even if he is like max bold. As long as we get rocks up, it's guaranteed. Without, I think we need a like absolute min roll to miss out on the kill. And then we have a very reliable Stealth Rocker in our Bonsly right here. His removal on this team is, I'm trying to see if he even has any. I don't think he has any removal, so I figure getting up Stealth Rocks early is really nice, especially for like a Sturdy Smash Dwebble. I think that really does help. So this is probably my designated lead in this game. We have Edgequake, or Slide Tantrum, I guess, Stealth Rock, Toxic, and then we have a Life Orb Swineup that does kind of just rip through his team as well, and it gives me good priority, for his big setup threats like a, weakened, Shell Smashed up, what do you call it? Why am I blanking on the name? Dwebble. But yeah, with that being said, let's jump into the matchup. You can see our team right there, what we talked about, and then you can see our opponent's team, which consists of the Golett, Dwebble, Snover, Spritzy, Gothita, and Chimchar. So nothing too crazy here. I will say I am surprised to see the Gothita. I don't see the allure in really bringing it versus me when I have a Honedge and I have a Scraggy. But regardless, hopefully we can take advantage of that. And yeah, let's just jump right into the game once it stops lagging right here. I am going to elect to just lead off with my Bonsly, like I kind of said before. It's really, really free rocks, and he doesn't have any removal on this build right here to get them away. So I figured, hey, might as well lead off with it, get up my guaranteed rocks, and go from there. As he does elect to lead off with the Golett, which isn't necessarily the greatest lead matchup for me, but Sturdy Juice is so broken as a lead, it doesn't really matter. This thing doesn't have any priority, it doesn't have like fake out or anything, so I don't really have to worry about that. As he is going to go for the Stealth Rock, get up his, as we're just gonna kind of trade Stealth Rocks right here, which is completely fine with me. Getting this trade is, honestly great. The only thing that really hurts is going to be my Magby. The rest of my team doesn't really care too much, and his team definitely doesn't appreciate it with having Dwebble, Snover, and Chimchar. So turn 2, he's going to go for a Rock Polish right here. And I'm just going to stand, I'm going to throw off a Toxic. just because it helps chip him down slowly if he, was a rock polish set or something like that, and if he was like a really bulky Eviolite set. I don't have much on my team that can really OHKO him either, so I kind of wanted to put him in range of priority on my team. As he is going to go for the Earthquake right here, I know I can live any one hit, and I know the rocks are up for the game because I don't have any removal on my team either. So I figured staying in, getting the Sturdy Juice up because I won't be able to, have my Sturdy later in the game. I figured, staying in, just getting a little bit of Stomping Tantrum chip on this thing to scout what it is. It does turn out to be like a more Eviolite set right here. And then I'm going to switch out, and I believe I sack off my Magby. So Magby did not do really anything in this game besides give me a little bit more toxic chip on this Golett, but hey, not too big of a deal. That is a trade we will take 100% of the time. Being able to get more chip off this and getting a free switch into either our Honedge or our Swinub, which has super effective priority for this thing, which makes it much less scary. And we also have our Sash Abra on the back, so nothing too terrifying right here. I'm going to go into my Honedge. And I believe right here I just throw off a big Shadow Sneak, picking off this Golett right here, which is good because this thing was a pretty big threat. I didn't switch into it at all, obviously, as you saw, but just having the option of priority and Little Cup makes it a lot easier to play around these big, scary setup threats. And right here, he's going to go into the Chimchar and take Rock Chip, which is phenomenal. Getting those up was great, and I'm definitely going to switch out. This is my best Spritzy check. This is probably my best Snover check. It's pretty good. Dwebble check as well, and the Gothita. It pretty much beats most of the rest of his team 1v1 minus this Chimchar, and I still have my Bonsai in the back as he actually ends up going for the Fire Punch, gets the crit, and then gets a burn, which is a double whammy right there, which does definitely suck, but not the biggest deal in the world. I do kind of just want to I should be able to knock this thing out or put it very close in range of a Shadow Sneak with the Stomping Tantrum even burn, so I am just going to stay in and throw that off. And he's going to switch out, but that's completely fine because now it'll be at about 50% when he comes back in on rocks next time, which again makes him much less threatening. He does not have many free switches into that thing. And right here he goes in with the Spritzy. I'm going to stay in. I'm going to go for the Toxic, and I outspeed, showing me that he is most likely a Trick Room set, a Trick Room variant. Maybe like OTR with Nasty Plot or something like that, but he is going to get up a Trick Room right here, which is completely fine. I'm not really tripping because I still do have my full health Honedge just chilling in the back there, so I can kind of just sack this thing off and continue to chip this Mon down. As he does end up going for the Moonblast right here, and he is going to take out my Bonsai, but Bonsai definitely did its job. It got up rocks, it chipped down the Chimchar, it put the Golett into range, and just did, a pretty good amount of work there. As right here, I am going to go out into my Honedge. I know this thing can't 2-hit KO me with literally anything. It doesn't get Shadow Ball. It just has hidden power coverage to potentially hit me. He didn't Nasty Plot up, so I don't have to worry about him doing a big chunk, as we are able to eat that up pretty well and go for the Iron Head. And now at this point, I think my opponent definitely misplayed a tiny bit. They gave us the Trick Room, essentially, because nothing on his team is going to underspeed me at this point, and he has nothing to switch into a Honedge under Trick Room. I don't remember if we were adamant or not. I'm not going to check that right now, but I am for sure going to be able to knock out this Chimchar with a Shadow Claw. That crit did not matter, unless he was like max bold Eviolite, but I don't think so. As we are able to knock that thing out, and then he's going to go out into the Snover, which is again fine. I still have another turn of Trick Room, and I can definitely knock this thing out with an Iron Head. Again, unless he's really bulky, and at this point we don't have to worry about sashes or anything because we did end up getting up our rocks, which is again really nice. I am going to go for the Iron Head. Gonna knock out the Snover, and our Honedge is just putting an absolute ton of work. We haven't even set up a Sword Stance yet. If we were able to get off a free Sword Stance, this game was just absolutely over. But right here, he is going to go into the Dwebble, take Rock Chip, which is again very nice, as I believe he goes for an Earthquake right here, and I don't remember, I believe he's able to take us out right here, because Dwebble is a pretty strong Mon. Yeah, he is. So unfortunately, our Honedge, its sweep is cut pretty short right here, but again, not too big of a deal. It did what it was supposed to. It chipped down our opponent's team very well. I am going to go into my Scraggy right here. I figure it's a no drawback play to just kind of throw off a Steelium Z, because if he does go into the Gothita at that point, I mean, if he does let this thing go down, I can definitely knock out the Gothita in the next turn with a knockoff, as he does make the smart play and scouts for my Z. and goes right into the Gothita, which is totally fine. We're going to be able to chip this thing down very, very much, and obviously it's going to be in range of a knockoff right after. So again, that's completely fine with me. In all honesty, I'm not going to trip too hard about that. And we are going to be able to throw off a big corkscrew crash. We're going to see that this Gothita was actually pretty bulky, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it definitely was, because if he was like an offensive, like maybe like a choice scarf trapping set or something like that, he took a lot more from that. So he is going to be definitely in range of a knockoff though right here, as we're going to throw that off. We are going to knock out the Gothita, as we do see, what item was he? Was he ever go light? I'm pretty sure he was. Yeah, he was. So that does nothing but leaves the Dwebble left, and it was also a good play of him switching out, because this is going to give him his berry juice, and he's going to be able to you know, get back up pretty high, right back up into his sturdy range, because Hail is going to end this turn. So this is pretty terrifying. I can just kind of attack this thing since it's sitting in front of me. He kind of is forced to go for the Shell Smash. He can't knock me out in one hit at this point. So I am going to go for a Iron Head, I believe, just because I know it'll bring it down to the Sash. And if I was for some reason faster, we could have potentially flinched him. But he is going to be faster. I am going to throw off a big Iron Head. Going to bring this thing down very, very low. And he's going to hold on its sturdy right here, and then it's going to, the Hail's going to stop right here, which is very, very scary, but thankfully we do have our priority in the back and Swineup. He just throw off a +2 Exeter that's going to blow our Scraggy away. We are not a bulky set like we were last week. We were pretty much fully offensive, and we're going to go down, but I can go into my Swineup. And reason being I didn't go into my Abra is because he could have potentially had Rock Blast, and that would have kind of just been pointless. But I am going to be able to throw off the Ice Shard, knock out the Dwebble, and we're going to pick up a nice 2-0 victory against Aaron here. So very, very good game, him very back and forth. I think the fact that we got, you know, our Honedge under Trick Room was absolutely amazing. That kind of just let us punch a giant hole through our opponent's team, because they did have a really, really nice offensive and defensive matchup. And if we were able to potentially get off the Swords Dance, I think the game was over, but regardless, it still put in a ton of work and just wall broke through our opponent's team, which I definitely can't complain about. But we are able to improve to 7-0 on the season. Next week we take on my good buddy Blinn in his something Dailies. I don't want to mess up the name because I know he'll give me crap for it. But I'm very excited to play that. Blinn's a phenomenal Little Cup player. He's helped me a lot in drafting and building and mocks and stuff like that for these leagues. So I always look forward to playing him, so that should be a good one. Hopefully we can keep the streak going against him. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Be sure to sub so you can, you know, stick around, catch our games as they go up every week, whether it be this or IBL or UPO Wi-Fi, stuff like that. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Later.